I'm a very happy guy right now. I think I just had the best shower I've had in probably 5 years. It's been like four, almost four, since I broke my legs. And that kind of puts showers out of the question for quite some time. Oh, let's go out in the sunshine here. I got something really interesting I want to talk to you about. It's not my shower. But I just got this shower fixed. So for a long time I couldn't take a shower because I couldn't stand up. And then I had to take a shower with a walker in the shower so I could hold on to it and not fall over because I was very unstable. And none of that stuff should ever be occurring that way. Oh man, I've still got skin coming off me. Yep, I got skin peeling off me. It has been, I took one short shower since April of last year, and it's now the end of April this year. So in 1 year, I took one kind of really shitty shower that was really quick, and my drain wasn't working, so it becomes a lake in there. But I just got a friend to come over and dig out the concrete and put in 4-inch tubing for the drain instead of 1.5 inches. And he angled it better, and so it won't get stuck. It always got clogged before. And then I clean the shower head so that water actually comes out of it. Still not enough, but it's a water-saving shower head. The truth is, showers waste too much water anyway, and that's what I want to talk about. Oh, the sunshine feels great. I tried to scrub down. I've still got skin falling off me. That's all right. I have proven that you don't need to take a lot of showers. However, I actually don't want to live that way. I don't want to live dirty. And so I'm going to tell you about a design for the solution, and that's saunas. It's a more comfortable experience. It uses less energy, the way I'm going to do it. It gets you way cleaner, like super clean. And I want that. And it can even be a social thing or a spiritual thing, like a temazcal or a sweat lodge. I know slope is involved, and that the exact site is really important. As I look out at the forest here, I have to figure out what angle of slope. Like this is a north-facing slope here. I don't have a lot of those. And I'm not thinking that's probably what I'm going to want. I'm imagining how many people a sauna could serve. And I'm imagining it to be a sauna that could fit 12 people sitting in a circle. This would be one style. I mean, the styles can vary. And it would be domed, just like a temazcal. But you would sit in it, not kneel. I hate kneeling in a temazcal. It's just annoying. And it would have glass block in the domed roof so that the sun could come in, and those could be translucent if we wanted or not. It might be cool in some of those sauna designs we could come up with to put prisms in so that all the light coming in gets scattered. And we could also have the glass block be such that we could close that either from the inside or the outside to make it darker if we wanted to. So all day long there could be this magically rainbow colored space, which I guess in that case you'd want to use a whitish concrete and then polish it, and then not polish the floor maybe for traction, but make it comfortable, really comfortable. Now, they don't all have to be round like I was saying. We can look at all the finished saunas. We can look at Japanese type bathhouses. I don't know a lot about those. I need to look at the layout and how those work. And some of them could be gendered or not, because some people, because there'd be nudity in some of them and not in others, I suppose. That doesn't really change the design of the sauna too much, but it does determine like the entryways and things like that. Like, first of all, I want it to be super energy efficient. I want it to work without any combustible fuel. I want to use evacuated tube solar hot water heaters, but I also want to design it so that if those were to fail, and if we couldn't get those, because I'm thinking long term, like hundreds of years, and those may not be available, I want to design it so the south side is sucking up the heat of the sun all day, and maybe there's a water layer beneath that, like a black deck, and that funnels heat up into the sauna. And the south side of it could also be like a greenhouse, and it would get too hot. That would not be where you would normally hang out at that, the heat of the day, but you would overheat that. And then I want a tunnel that you enter through, a tunnel that comes up into the spa complex, or the sauna itself. It depends. I mean, I don't have all this stuff worked out as far as placement. I have to think of every single part of the system, and then list them. Like, I want a space you enter into and there's lockers, so that you can lock your shit up, and maybe use your own lock. Design wise, that's a pretty good idea. Or we buy a commercial one for now, but I don't want to buy anything that breaks. And I want to plan it for lighting without any electricity. So really plan it for a far, far future when we just don't have as much resources. But then go ahead and implement using some of the things we have now. Like, it's fine if we run in some LED lights for now, and it's fine if we use the evacuated tube solar hot water heaters downslope from the spa that then feed the heat up into it and get it way too hot. But also have a firebox. And that firebox, then, if the heating system fails, we could still run it with wood. That would be great. Anything but electricity. I don't like to use electricity for heating or cooling. And then by the sauna, you want a social space. And I'm imagining on a slope, you could be walking from one part to another. And it might be through something like a Wally Pini. Wally Pini is a dug-in greenhouse. And some of those might not be, trying to suck up all the sun that they can, but just provide a lit walkway to a fire pit that is dug in, and maybe is circular too, and people can sit around in there. And maybe there's almost a flow to it where you arrive in one place, and then you do your basic cleaning, perhaps. No, I don't know. I don't know what order things go in. Like, I think starting with a foot soak is a good idea. And that foot soak could have pine resin in it. Maybe you start out with a foot cleaning station, and so you can get your toenails clipped, and maybe you don't even do that yourself. Maybe it's like a manicure, because it's hard. I find, my legs are messed up. I find it hard to cut my own toenails. I can do it, but it's just not the most convenient. And you can scrape the calluses off the feet. Same thing for hair washing, where it's possible that you have chairs, and just like a salon, and that you get your hair washed. And it's possible that people come in groups, and that they're self-serving, right? They serve themselves, and it's not a tough job to wash somebody's hair. This is not rocket science here. And that group, who is also in terms of, the pandemic has changed my design thoughts quite a bit. They're all people who are in a pod where they're all disease protected within their own group. And so they arrive, they put their stuff away, they get maybe the hair cleaning and the feet, and then they go in for the real cleaning, and that's the sauna. And sitting in a sauna, you sweat. And how long you stay in there may depend on the person, and I wouldn't mind having one that was hotter and less hot. That gets everybody's needs met, right? Some people want it way too hot, and they want to sweat fast and get out. Or that maybe they can take it. Some people just like it hotter. Like when I used to have a hot tub, I had to look up, actually the company I think told me how to do it, but they couldn't do it. But it had a limit of 104 degrees Fahrenheit on it. And so there's a way you could open up the panel and change some kind of jumper thing. It was a long time ago, I don't remember. But you could change a thing that would override that, and then you could crank the temperature way up hotter, because I like it pretty hot. 104 degrees Fahrenheit for a hot tub is not even close to as hot as I want. Which brings up another thing is I need to research, like, what's the hottest you would want a sauna to be, and what's the comfortable temperature. And then after you're in the sauna for a while, you might want to step out for a bit, and then you could have cold water shower. Like I have a handheld one down here at my existing sauna, which is a very badly designed sauna. I mean, this is high priority for me because I got to save water, and I want to serve people, and I want them clean. I want them to be very happy here in the forest. And we're going to be doing a lot of dirty work sometimes. We'll physically be dirty. We might be sweating a lot, which actually helps you get cleaner too, long term. It could be that, if we have all this heat going on anyway, that you have actually a place you can hang your clothes up. So maybe these lockers are places you can hang your clothes up in a place that's way super dry. And so it hydrates your clothing. That might be useful. And maybe there's even a service where your clothes can get washed, or you have a clothes washing station there as well. Why not? I mean, and I don't know how that shakes out, but maybe you soak it in salt water. Salt is part of this too. Salt is currently very cheap. It might not be in the future, but you can buy big, huge bags of it in bulk. And so you could have a salt scrub. Once you're clean, right? Because you want to scrub that skin off, and you might even have a shower thing inside the sauna where you scrub all your skin off and it goes down a drain. And then you might move on to another stage, and now you're clean, right? So you could hang out. I mean, I was at a fair where they had a fire pit and saunas, really cool saunas, and then by the fire pit there was a stage and people were playing music. That, all these things could occur. And we could have more than one sauna complex. Now, when I mentioned the groups coming through, sorry if I seem scattered, I am. I'm not, actually. It's just there's a lot of thoughts to connect. And this is a massively difficult design problem to get right. But if you're imagining groups coming through, you might have a group come through, and you might have a couple of them a day, and have a way to really, air it out pretty well. Like you let the heat out and it heats back up, or whatever, or somehow avoid disease transfer. And that includes feet, because people get foot diseases in shared spaces like locker rooms. We don't want any of that going on. And then you come back through and you leave. So there could almost be a circular route, a path you go through this stages of cleaningness, and you could either zoom through them or you could take your time. And then you could figure out, how many groups could you run through in one day. And the thing is, if you're getting this clean, and you're in a clean environment, right? I'm not in a dirty city here. I don't have all these car fumes and stuff. Then you really only need to do that once a week. I mean, seriously. The idea you have to shower constantly is ridiculous. And it's partly because you never get really very clean in a shower. But a sauna, you really get clean. And you could have food as a stage, There could be fruits to eat. Stay nice and hydrated, obviously. In fact, people should hydrate before they even go into the sauna. So I think eating some fruit and guzzling a bunch of water, very good idea. Obviously, you have places to pee and poo, because you never know, you should try and poo beforehand. But it wouldn't be hard to incorporate places to pee, whether it's standing up or sitting down. And make it so that you could really hang out in the sauna all day if you wanted to in the spa complex. You can have an associated massage place, whether you're massaging within your group, or you might have people who have very low risk and live a lifestyle where they're not going to transmit things into the group, and I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, we can't completely quarantine people. But we can make a list of all the risk factors that somebody incurs, and then make determinations about how people interact based on that. And that might mean no interaction at all. There's going to be high-risk groups, and they might have their own day of the week in the sauna. But I think one good spa complex could serve, let's say you had two groups of 12 a day. That's 24 people. We'll call it 25. For easier math. That means you've got 25 a day. 25 times 7 is Well, 50 times 3, wait, 20, I'm not good at math. That's pretty funny. I can't do that very well. Um, 6 times 25 would be 150 people, and then you tack on another day, and so that's another 25 people. So it's 175 people. That's a lot of people using a sauna. And if you had 3 of them, I mean, you would never have a space problem. And you could have one that was for people visiting, more public, and you can have one that's just for like residents and some core people, and then you could have a different one. The other thing is that there are a couple other functions that could be included with the sauna, and they don't have to be. But if you're going to concentrate all this heat into one place anyway, then I can think of a couple other functions that we could use it for, or use that heat for. And we might even have a diverter, so that we can divert the heat coming off those evacuated tube solar hot water heaters. We can divert it to where we want it to go. And one of those things is chicken brooding. And so some of that goes into making a really hot place, like over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature that baby chicks like. And then out from that, just protected areas that are warmer but less warm as it gets further away, more access to outdoor space, and we could just have a ton of... oh, hi there, doggin. What are you doing in there? You ain't supposed to be in there? Get out of the house. Go. Where's that? Oh yeah, other uses for this heat that we've accumulated. So chicken birding is one, and then you could have, there's a lot of systems to try and connect together, and it may not make sense to have them be connected, but if you got this heat, you could also make a bakery, ovens, essentially. You could also have a solar food dehydrator, where that heat, the water from these things is coming up and makes a room that you could just continually be having racks of things already dehydrating. You could also have preheating for brewing things, or even distilling. And I don't know if we could work that out with pure solar. It might be dangerous to combine a bunch of systems too closely, so we might want to separate some things out. And certainly each system, we want to design it separate and then see how we can fit it together like puzzle pieces for more efficiency of energy. Because like this sauna is going to be hot all the time, which is a huge advantage. Because my current sauna is a wood-fired one, and it takes a really long time to heat it up. I dug it into the ground. It has a high thermal mass, and I guess I could, in fact, I could actually redesign that to work off a solar hot water heater if I cut down some trees. But I don't feel like cutting these trees down. I also hate retrofitting things. Retrofitting is stupid. So I don't know what that building will be used for later, but it sucks as a sauna. The chimney is stupid. It has a beautiful earth roof, and that is another thing to consider. Is I was thinking a concrete domed roof, but we could have spaces that were as hot as a sauna and were open to the sun. And also that place that was, a south-facing greenhouse would get too hot during the day, but would tend to get less hot pretty quickly in the night. And so it could be a really warm place to sit around at night. And if you really wanted to imagine a sauna, if it was going to operate 24/7, which is possible, then you could think 4 groups could go through there in a day. If you design it really for that kind of efficiency, you wouldn't need as many of them. And we wouldn't want to put the first one in the best place. And the best one we would probably want would be the one that is on the most public side here. And so we wouldn't build that one first. I don't know. There's a lot to think about. And I'm not an engineer officially, but I think designing these systems all separately and then bringing them together is the way to go. What else about saunas? Yeah, and so saunas combined with composting toilets, because composting toilets get rid of like 40% of your water use. And if you use the sauna instead of using a shower, because showers are a massive waste of water, In fact, I know some people live around here and they don't even have a shower. They use a bucket. I don't even know if they heat the water up. It sounds like it sucks to me. And this is a culture that isn't very sauna friendly. Nobody here has saunas. This is not Finland. It's not normal part of the culture, and people are body shy. But that can all be changed. It's just a cultural thing. And they could still be body shy. They could wear bathing suits. Fine. It just gets your bathing suit dirty, but you're in a place where you can clean stuff anyway. So that's okay. And that does get into the male female thing where you would want to separate out. And also for privacy, I mean, there's no reason not to. If you're going to build this infrastructure, you want to build it right. And you want to have people be comfortable. So I don't want to fight against the culture, right? This is not Japan. And so people are going to be more body shy so far in this culture. Maybe the people on site here will be less so, but that is a consideration. What else? What am I forgetting? It should look pretty. It should be artistic. It should be a wonderful experience. It should be really excellent. And perhaps some of those services I mentioned, like massage and stuff, are also accessible via a different method. So that's why I imagine this kind of dug-in network of tunnels, semi-tunnels, because you also want to get out of the wind. It's just wind is really annoying. You may want to consider things like, it sounds weird, but you may, have a TV in a lounge. You may have a sauna that is, and I have a spot picked out for this, that is perfectly positioned to maximize the sunrise. So the sun comes up, and as soon as that sun comes up over the mountains across the lake, it fills into this complex through double pane windows, and they're the kind of glass that lets a lot of heat in but doesn't let radiation back out. Maybe it's double pane or not, but that's another issue, is we can't be sure that we'll be able to have double pane windows in the future. We may not be able to make ones with a vacuum in them, which would be ideal if they had a vacuum. But we could make 2 layers of glass. So, well, those are some ideas. I got some work to do, and I got to figure out how to, get the resources to do this project. Of course, this is a complex one, and I think we can start out by building the pieces of different systems, like the brooder. I want to build the brooder anyway, and that should be something that's it doesn't have to be part of the sauna at all, because I also want the pullets to be running around outside and have their own courtyard and everything, and so that's not really that important to combine with it. But I can start designing and building these kind of systems now, and then we can figure out how to get them together. I think the main thing is to get a basic sauna working so that I can have people hear it all and they can be clean. And even with that, though, plan for how I could... Well, see, that wouldn't be that... It's just not that hard. And so a small sauna for a small number of people, I don't have to think as big as I'm thinking, right? I don't have to design all this out in a complicated way. And I tend to do that anyway, but that should be the goal, is to build the full spa complex. But for now, it's get a sauna working and have enough water storage so we can use cold water to scrape your dead skin off. Although I was thinking I wanted to put it in the very best place. That's really tough. I don't want to do that. I don't know. We'll see. And even a wood-fired one would not be bad to do. I have plenty of wood here. And so just get something working is the key. And have water capture uphill so it's gravity-fed water coming down so you don't have to ever pump water. There should be no pumps. If you have to pump water, then the pumps are going to break, and that's just difficult. So anyway, thoughts for you. Goodbye. I got things I got to go do. I feel so happy I'm clean. And thanks for hanging out with me when I'm so happy. I think I'll be coming down here again to take a shower. Probably within a week. Or maybe I'll wait another year. No, I don't want to do that. So goodbye.